My name is Ashley Lawrence. I'm the head women's lacrosse coach here at Virginia State University.
All right, Coach Lawrence. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. Well, first off, let's just talk about what just happened. You guys got a historic win. Talk to us about your win and your debut as a program, not only the season but also the program debut over at here at VSU against UDC.
It was good. I think that for our first time out with being a young team, we have about 15, 16 freshmen. They really showcased what it meant to work as a team. So being able to have that common goal, being able to essentially fight it out and work together, and successfully 17-7. So it was really good. It was a really good feeling. Definitely think that the girls found that inner peace that they needed. So being a first-year college coach, first-year program, first time these girls have stepped on a college field, it was a really good feel all the way around.
Yeah, everything new. So let's just start from the beginning. Well, let's get a little bit of background on you. So I know you played lacrosse at Howard. Just talk about that experience, like how at that point, how new was the program there, and just and what that was like for you, how that molded you into where you are today.
Well, Howard's been around since about 1997. So they were around for a little bit. I got to Howard in 2007. That's when I graduated high school. And I was there until 2011. So I was in the process of that program trying to build and trying to get these different pieces. It was a very interesting experience. I think that being at a HBCU and playing a sport that's not common in the minority population at an HBCU was a different experience. I loved it. It definitely opened my eyes to a lot of different things the university did, just playing at that level, because Howard is a D1 level, so we played against big programs. But just trying to find our way in that channel of travel of different experiences and things like that, it was a good eye-opener, and I loved it. I think it definitely prepped me for this here. Yeah,
and you talk about that. What is that kind of... When you were deciding to go to Howard, obviously it's a great academic school, but how big did them having a lacrosse program and being able to play at a HBCU, did that factor in any to your decision, or?
So it was an interesting process. So I was being recruited by a lot of other schools, bigger schools, smaller schools, and I just didn't find what it is that I wanted. So I was actually on the path where it was like, I might not want to play lacrosse, but I just want to go to school. So I had relatives that graduated from Howard. So I was like, you know what, this is where I want to go. It just so happened they had a lacrosse program. So it just all tied in. It was kind of like one of those things that it was like a made in heaven type of thing. But yeah, that's how it all tied in. It was just a perfect fit. It was an HBCU, was somewhere that was in the middle of a city. It had a lacrosse program. So it just worked.
Awesome. So, now since then, you've, worked at varying levels of lacrosse. Just talk about the opportunity to come here to Virginia State when you first heard about it, and then just kind of from the start till now, what it's been like, with a brand new program, basically, I would say a blank slate.
Just the journey has been amazing. First hearing about the program, actually, one of the players from Howard, she sent it to me and was like, you got to apply for this. So applied for it, waited a little bit, got a call, did an interview, and then, I made my way down here to do the second piece. So just kind of maneuvering with the AD, with Peggy Davis, she really opened my eyes to a lot of different opportunities that the university has, and just really gave it as what it is that I can do at the university. So being able to know that and seeing the campus and all the things that it has to offer, and knowing that the athletics department supports the lacrosse programs, it was a really good feel. It made things a lot easier to be able to recruit, to be able to allow these young ladies to see what it is that they would be walking into coming to Virginia State.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And, I guess kind of going back to before that, so how starting a whole program, that's a big challenge for anybody. Just talk about what that process was like, from, I'm guessing you probably picked out the uniforms, everything, like kind of just walk us through that a little bit.
It's kind of like a little kid in a candy shop. So it's like we got to do the uniforms. I got to pick out what the girls' sweats were going to look like, their cleats, their sneakers, our sticks, lacrosse balls, the nets, all of that stuff was all those detailed pieces. I think the interesting part about building a program at the college level is that you don't really know how much of the business piece on the back end you have to factor into a lot of stuff. So it's looking at numbers, it's looking at budgets, looking at scholarships, it's looking at all these pieces on top of trying to find that talent. So it was good. It definitely allowed me to kind of see those pieces that I didn't know about on the back end. But it was a good journey. I loved it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And you look at the landscape. You got a couple of programs in Division One, as far as HBCUs. Division Two, I think UDC is there. Just kind of where you see the potential growth. Like you guys having a team. I think you guys are the only team in the CIAA that has one at the moment. Mm-hmm. Do you see that? Potentially you guys having success could inspire other HBCUs to grow the sport as well? Yeah,
I definitely think so. I definitely think that there's going to be other HBCUs that are looking to add lacrosse. When that would happen, not really sure those pieces, but I definitely think it opens eyes and it opens parameters for other schools to kind of try to get their feet wet in a sense.
Students and athletes from different places, like how many of them are here in Virginia in the area, how many of them are from, different states? Yeah. Like if you can give us kind of like an idea of that.
So we have girls from everywhere. So we have a girl from California, from Pasadena. We also have 2 girls from Florida, one from Orlando, one from Miami. We have a young lady from Georgia. We have a couple girls from North Carolina. We have a young lady from Maryland, from Virginia. We had a young lady from Philly. We also have a young lady from Boston. We have, they are coming from everywhere. So even with our next class coming in, we have a couple girls from Texas, a couple girls from New York, a couple girls from Pennsylvania. So it's a good mix of all of these different small melting pots of lacrosse. But when you look at it, because of what our team is built up on, you really have to have a specific eye for these certain areas. So it's not a lot of us that are playing the sport, but when you look in the right areas, it's a lot of us playing the sport. So even just when we did our play day in the fall, we had 123 all minority players here from all 4 different programs. So it was an extreme eye-opener for those that don't really realize or can't really picture it in one spot, and we had it all in one place.
Yeah, have you had a lot of young ladies that will tell you that this is kind of like the deciding factor that brought them in? I mean, obviously, there's just playing, being able the ability to play a sport that they love at an HBCU, like how helpful that was, or how that was maybe a difference maker for them.
I think a lot of our young ladies, a lot of our young ladies come from teams with the one and only. And a lot of the things that they struggle with is that they weren't playing with girls that looked like them. So to be able to come somewhere where all 20 of us look the same and all 20 of us think the same and have the same upbringing and have the same thoughts and the same basic kind of all characteristics of the life piece, it makes life a lot easier for them, and it makes the sport a little bit more lovable in a sense. So I have the conversation all the time about people with this sport. So it's a Native American based sport. They started it, they created it all through and through. So technically, they are the minority of a piece. So being able to be the melanated minority part, it's a good feel. And just with me playing at Howard, that was one thing that I didn't have in high school. So I played in Syracuse, so I was the one and only. I didn't really see many, me and my brothers were, that only melanated pieces. So to be able to go to a team where we're all the same, it was a good feel. It makes you happy.
Awesome. And so, I know you said your season is through April. Obviously, you just got through the first game, and I know Coach speak one game at a time. But if we look a little beyond that, just what do you hope to get out of this inaugural season for you guys? What are your goals? Are you officially classified in NCAA? Let us know that.
So we are an official NCAA program. We're not in a conference yet, so technically we're independent. We're looking at a couple different places. We just haven't really put our finger on where exactly we want to go, or what works best for the program. But it's a good maneuver of pieces, I guess to say.
What would be a successful season for you guys?
So successful season, I really just want the girls to grow. I want them to grow as a team. I want them to grow as a unit. I mean, of course, you want to win games. You know, want to do better than overall. But I think with the first year and with us having a young team, being able to see them grow together and being able to see them learn each other is really the most important part. So, of course, more wins than losses. If we can get through the season where we have this tremendous, phenomenal season, I'm 100% all in. But I really just want to see them grow together. And I want to see that they can create this foundation so that way as these other teams come in, we just have that talent of build and that push is just even harder.